Welcome to the Dave Briley Athletic Center. I'm Liam Dunlop beside Sadie Martin. Later on, we'll hear from our sideline reporter, Christine Midgley. So the number 4 ranked 5-0 Humber Lady Hawks will take on our 2-1 Lady Mountaineers this evening. Mohawk has had some issues last game. They lost to St. Clair. What were those issues and how can they improve on them?
Yeah, so the main issue I think was turnovers. They've been averaging 25 turnovers per game, which is huge for college teams. So I think we need to really get rid of those and just get some more people on the scoreboard. We've only had one player who's been scoring over 10 points per game. So just some more improvement in getting more people scoring for us.
Christine caught up with Coach Duffy pregame to talk about team improvements. Christine?
Thanks, Liam. Now, as you guys were saying, it's a huge game for the Mountaineers. We're seeing them face off against Humber, the number 1 team in the league. Now, we saw Mohawk crumble under the pressure against St. Clair last week. Coach Duffy says in order to pull off a win this week, we need to see some mental stability and trusting one another. Said no more fancy plays, just good, simple basketball. Back to you.
Thanks, Christine. So yeah, the bench of the Mountaineers has been huge, especially Sam Pokanik. What can you tell me about her?
Yeah, so Sam, a freshman this year, so she's really put it out there for the Mohawk Mountaineers. She's getting 22 points per game, and last game against St. Clair, she got 15 points for us. So she's been the only player for Mohawk that's really done some big scoring for us. So she's been a great asset there, and we saw her warming up today. She looked good, her shot looked good, so hopefully she brings it again for the Mohawk Mountaineers tonight.
Yeah, she showed up 2 hours early and started to get her shot ready.
Yeah, no, we were watching her. So, everyone else, I think Duffy usually says come like hour and a half, and she was here 2 hours by herself shooting around, ready to go.
So yeah, she scored 50% of the bench points. Mohawk's bench had 30 points, and she had 15 of them by herself. But the Hawks, as a whole team, they've just been solid, and especially CJ Nofuente.
Yeah, so CJ, last year she was OCAA first-team All-Star, so she's always been a great player, and now she's starting to build on that. So last game she got 25 points, 16 rebounds, and 8 assists. Great player all around.
Yeah, she's averaging about 12 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, as you can see on your screen. Okay, as the starters are going to be getting named, I'll let you know them as well. For Humber, so we got Mary Asare, who was solid last year against Humber.
Yeah.
Against Mohawk, excuse me. And Jill Semple, big 6'2" center. She's
huge on rebounds.
Huge on rebounds. Natalie Hagopian, Leandra Kerr, and CJ Nofuente round out the starting lineup. And for Mohawk, we have Jen Janabella coming off that ankle injury. We'll see how she is.
Yeah, hopefully she can get some of her moves back. She's huge for getting that energy flowing for Mohawk.
Carissa Brown, Jacayla Douse, who are huge rebounders
huge
as well.
Huge boards, very physical players, so they definitely bring the aggressive side and get us some boards.
Monica Batnich and Caitlin Arbor round out the backcourt, and we didn't see a lot from them last week, or a couple weeks ago, but again, they're going to step their game.
It's the potential, right? So Caitlin Arbor, she's a veteran. I think she kind of needs to help the rookies figure out the plays and really put the game together. Same with our other veterans. We have a lot of injuries today, but we need to get them out there.
So if you're Coach Duffy, we know Christine talked to him, but how would you think he should go about this game? Because Humber is one of the top teams in the country, but you can't be scared of them.
Yeah, you know what? I think last year Duffy was lucky. He had a lot of veterans back, and so he was built so much around plays. And I think he tried to do that with his rookies this year, and it just kind of fell apart. We saw in St. Clair's a ton of turnovers. So I think when he said go back to simple basketball, I think that's really what they need to do. Being at a college level, you know how to pass, you know how to cut. Just go back to simple motion and make something work out of there. Don't focus so much around, I have to pass to this person, because you run out of shot clock, and that's what they're getting, ton of turnovers. So I think that's his main defense of getting rid of those turnovers and hopefully getting some more on the board.
And Coach Sharma for Humber, he's only been there for 5 years, but he just knows how to win.
Yeah, he's definitely, tough mentality of a team. They are very persistent, they dig deep, and they're a hard team to play against. They're very fast, very agile, and they're huge on boards. They're just an all-around great team, ton of players on the board. So it should definitely be a good game.
We're just about to tip off here. Humber will be in the dark blues and Mohawk in their home whites. Tip taken down by Humber. There is Nofuente here, point guard duties, but can also grab the rebounds, as we were saying in the open.
Yeah, you'll probably be seeing her a lot with the ball tonight.
There's Asari. Nofuente up top. Tough defense already. Hands up. Nofuente with the rainbow shot, but that's out. I like the good defensive rotations there already by Mohawk.
Yeah, no, they did a great job, and CJ put that up. It was a close shot, but it just didn't drop there.
Batnick. Arbor, quick passing. Left, that's to Carissa Brown. Abella inside to Douse. Douse takes a couple dribbles, 1-2 step, up, misses.
I think we're seeing a little bit better movement from Mohawk, though.
As
Steal by Jen
you just said that. Abella, 1-2 goes around, Nofuente throws it up, but that's another miss. There's Nofuente rushing the floor. Nice bounce pass to Asari and rejected. Big block there by Batnick.
Yeah, it was great defense by her, being able to get back and guard that 2-on-1. She took the advantage of that.
Very good read. Because it's hard because sometimes you see the pump fake there, but she actually passed it. But Asari couldn't get it up quick.
She sat herself back there, which is good.
Semple, big size mismatch against Arbor here. Using that left arm a little bit strong. Semple 1-2 step up and misses. No box out. Semple gets her own rebound, left hand hook, and that's good.
And that's going to be huge today. I'm sure Duffy has talked about we need to be boxing out because otherwise they can just reach all over us.
Good defense by Asari there. Just knocked the ball out of bounds. But Batnick takes over the duties. Hands it off to Abella up top. 1-2. Tough shot and in.
And that's what we love about Abella, right? She can squeeze through any little spot and finish on that backboard.
There's Hagopian with it. Batnick all tight on her. Almost caused her to pick up her dribble, but she kept her dribble smartly. Sorry, going baseline too easy.
Yeah, the help just wasn't there. I was about to say that the defense looked good for Mohawk, but then they just slacked right there at the end.
Batnick with a little spin move.
Yeah, she looks like she's taking the point position today, and it seems to be working out better than against St. Clair.
Arbor gets blocked by Semple. Ball last touched off the Hawks. That'll be Mohawk ball underneath the basket. I like the idea, but I think Arbor kind of forced her shot there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think more movement, use a bit more of the clock, and get the better shot off.
Carissa Brown to inbound. 9 on the shot clock. Faked it. Goes over to Douse. 1-2, and she gets blocked. That's Semple using her height. 3 seconds to get over the... And they do just in time. No 8-second violation in the backcourt, but nasty little crossover, and that's a hard fall for Nofuente. That foul will go against Brown. Nofuente looks like she's all right. I think they're going to call the shots, so Nofuente to the line for 2 shots.
You know, in the first quarter, Mohawk's already pressing, so I think, you know, Duffy's definitely got to start out hard against this team. Not going to let them feel comfortable.
Of course not.
And set up.
Nofuente, an 82% shooter from the line. Misses the first one. Second one is up and good. You could hear Coach yell, Jen, get back. Because when she has the ball, she's a lightning bolt. And there she is for 3. No go. Ball's up, Nofuente takes it down. That's where she gets all her rebounds. Nice pass to Asari. They're going to call a travel before the foul, but you don't want to see Jen go up like that when she doesn't have to.
No, that wasn't a good one to take. I think she just needed to be that extra half a step just to get to the basket before her and just stand up. But she looked like she was actually going for the block.
Yeah, she's already limping. So Sam Pokonic, our player to watch, will take over for her. The score is 5-2 for Humber, 7:30 remaining in this first quarter. Arbor left side, Brown. Brown getting forced the wrong way. Batnick, pump fakes, goes baseline. Nice pass into Pokonic, but nothing going. And here's Hagopian, 1-2, and misses the duck. But look at the rebounds by the Hawks.
And they're all over.
Yeah, and then they're going to call the foul on Arbor. Jill Semple is going to be a force tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And just a comment down there about Humber's defense. They great shifting. The help was there, and CJ was guiding to the baseline, right, so that they could trap. So that's great defense to see.
Hunter Johns now in the game for a little bit more height. Lafuente thinks about taking the shot, and she does. No go. Batnick up to Brown. Just Semple all over her. Good
That
layup.
was a good finish, you know.
I think that's a smart play by Humber not fouling there, just forcing because it's Semple on the left side and Nafuente on the right side.
It's intimidating enough, right? You have a player on your heels and you have a player on your side.
Hagopian spinning left, going left, into the contact, no go. Pockenick with a strong rebound.
Another great defense by Brown. You know, just stand tall, don't try and block it, and no foul will be called.
Brown has the ball here. Pumps it. That was a forced pass.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. And that's forcing the plays again, right? So simple basketball. Keep it simple.
Brittany Gazzola on for Carissa Brown. Karina Brown still on.
And Brittany's someone who, she has potential. We could get a lot out of her, so let's hope that this game's the first of her season to pull one out.
Semple with another block, and here's Asare. Asare going left, finishing with the left hand as well. That's good defense by Gazzola.
It wasn't sorry, just knew how to move around her, right? So if Brittany's going to stand tall, just take your 1-2 steps around her.
Batnick has Kerr all over her, and Kerr pops it loose. Kerr's rushing the floor. Kerr has it, and she's going to finish that all day long.
It was a great pass ahead. You know, sometimes it's better to lead them, make your player run if you know that they can get to the ball.
Exactly. Gazzola, Pockenick. Another forced pass, but Asare fouls first. Mohawk ball underneath the basket. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, Humber's, they're defending hard in the key. They're not letting anything come inside.
It kind of looks like a box and one, as we used to call it in high school, where they'd have four protecting the paint, but they're also protecting
it's very
the outside
help
as well. Exactly. Yeah. Help-orientated defense. But a lot of forced passes inside by Mohawk so far. That's a good one. Hunter Johns will go to the line for 2 shots. That's a smart inbound play.
Yeah, it was. Humber's not letting any easy shots out either. We've seen a lot of hits on the ball and on their arms.
First trip to the line for Johns. 100% on the season. Second one is true.
Mohawk putting on some pressure.
Yeah, here's the press. Hagopian's got great ball handling. Spins right. Picks up her dribble, taken away by Bella. Ball's on the floor. Bella's down and she's holding her head. Sorry, cutting baseline. Hands it off to Kerr. Kerr, nice pass into Semple. No good. Rebound taken down by Gazzola and she's rushing the floor. Bella right side. John's showing. Brown's tried to step back. Throws it. Don't think that was going to Abella, but she's there. 7 on the shot clock. Something's got to go. Abella, Gazzola. Gazzola's got to fire one up. Nice take. They're going to say that's Mohawk's ball. 0.7 seconds left on the shot clock. So it's going to have to be either a tip play or a
and
really
Humber
fast
is not
shot.
letting anything go.
Nothing.
If you get by one person, there's the next one standing right there waiting for you.
Gazzola's got to fire it up. She didn't know the time on the clock. I think that was a little bit of confusion because, as I said the last game, a lot of miscommunication, but also the shot clock here, there's no decimal. So it did say 0-7, so some people that might get confused, but Gazzola's a veteran. She's played here.
And that's a huge advantage that Humber has is the majority of their team is all 4th and 5th years.
Yep.
So along with their depth, they have players that have been playing together for 4 years. Mohawk's a very new team this year.
Pockenick tried the defensive play, but Nafuente to Kerr, and that's where Nafuente gets her assist, just off the dribble. Nice pass. Kerr,
she
nice
definitely
show.
She sees the court lovely.
Brown thought about giving it to Johns, but Pockenick cutting baseline. Hard basket. No good. Nafuente, quarterback pass to Asare. Wow, that was a great pass. Asare cutting right. Semple fakes the pass. She's going to use her size. Nice bounce pass to Kerr, and that is good basketball, but no go on the shot.
Yeah, they're moving very well, moving to open space.
They're going to call the foul there on Nafuente. That'll be left side out.
As we've already seen, Humber's a very fast-paced team. They're, footballing it down the court. As much as they can, they want to get those easy bunnies.
Timeout for Mohawk as there are some substitutions being put on the floor. Humber looks fresh.
Yeah.
But so does Mohawk. Mohawk just hasn't been able to get it inside on offense.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of Humber stuffing the key. They're not letting Mohawk get any easy shots, while Humber's able to push the ball down the floor and get those easy bunnies.
They have missed a couple, but that's to be expected. They are simple, but a lot of pressure in this game.
Yeah.
But the passing has been outstanding for Humber.
For Humber,
sure.
yeah, definitely. They just read each other very well. They know each other well enough to know who's cutting where and to find that open space. And Mohawk, as they're shifting their defense, Humber's just one step ahead of them that way.
So if you're Coach Duffy, what are you saying to your team? You got to be pleased keeping Humber to 5 points so far.
Yeah, so I think Duffy, it could be better still. We're not ahead. But, I think just keep the defense. I think the pressure is a good thing, slows them down a little bit. The less fast breaks Humber can get, the better.
Just about to come back. So, yeah, it's 11-6, Humber over Mohawk. 6 points with 4 minutes left. That's not enough.
No, it's not enough.
No.
We saw that in the St. Clair team also. We're just not getting the buckets off. So we've had a lot of attempts, but they're just not, I don't think, the best choice we've been taken.
One of the assistant coaches for Humber just went up to one of the referees and started pulling on his shirt and said, "You have to watch for that." And I haven't seen a lot of it, but she's a coach.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of weird because Humber's a very physical team. So, and I think, both teams, they kind of do that. You want to get on each other's nerves.
Oh, yeah.
The most mental state you can take the other player out, the better.
Offensive foul there on Mohawk, so the talking to the refs already started working. Here's Segopian. Crossing left.
Easy.
Great
Way
handles.
too easy.
Yeah. Nafuente, Pockenik all over her. Gives it to Bouchard. Bouchard's going to take it, but great defense by Abella.
Just snatched it right out of her hands.
Now Abella's just cutting off. That is heads-up play by Jen Abella, knowing that Bouchard was on her back, so she just cut her off, and took the foul. Great work.
Yeah, don't run alongside her. Kind of rest your shoulder in.
Exactly. It just depends on the angle the ref's going, and Jen knows her angles. Gazzola up top. There's Abella right here. Around the horn. Gazzola's going to take it all the way to the basket. That's a tough angle shot.
Mohawk's moving, but it doesn't look like positive movement. I feel like, they move around the arc, but we're not getting much inside. We need some inside and outside action.
Another great attempt by Nafuente, but it hits off the feet of Bouchard. Pockenik hands it off. Gazzola, nice cut. Right in the heart of the defense. Finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, that was a great C by Gazzola. So hopefully she can keep that up. That's kind of the plays that she's known for.
Yep. And then she pokes the ball loose. Good defense. You see a lot of hand clapping on the bench of Mohawk, really getting pumped up. Bouchard left side, up top, Nafuente. Pockenik tried to cut it off, but smartly backed off. Deep triple. And that's 3 shots for Nafuente after she missed the bucket. Pockenik with a little bit of frustration foul.
Yeah, that's not.
You don't want to foul a jump shooter.
Definitely not the foul that you want to be taking.
Asari's coming back on for Bouchard. For the Hawks.
And the last time the women's Mohawk and Humber team saw each other was at the OCAA championship. So there's definitely some heated rivalry there, and Mohawk would definitely like to. This is kind of like a redemption. If we can beat Humber, that would be a great confidence booster after our game against St. Clair.
First 2 are good for Nafuente. Third one is missed. Mohawk has numbers. Gazzola chooses to back it up. Fake the handoff, Abella. Under 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Ball's taken away. I think that was tipped, so I think that was not the smartest play by Johns to keep that in play.
Yeah, because Humber, they're so fast, right? That could have easily been an easy bucket for them.
Asare gets fouled. Not a lot of fast feet going on in the paint for Mohawk, as Asare just takes it in and gets fouled.
Yeah, no, I think they definitely need to get some more help defense going on there, especially when you have a team that loves to drive into the paint as much as Humber does.
Bouchard's taking a seat for number 7, Sasha Bertuzza, second year of Burlington. Also, Jakayla Douse is back on the court for Mohawk. First one is good for Asare. Jessica Ireland sees her way into the game as well. Second one is missed.
They get their own rebound.
Yeah, easy rebound by Orua. Good post-up play, but she picked up that pivot foot. Can't do that in the game of basketball. Two minutes remaining in the first quarter. Inside Douse. Douse, great move, but no go.
And this is the kind of game that we need Jakayla, because she's so aggressive, and Humber's an aggressive team, so you got to play at their game.
Arua, Asare. Going right to Brown. Brown messed up her dribble. Bounced a little too high and hit her in the nose. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, you're moving faster than you're thinking there.
Exactly. Malfuente taking the point guard duties. Has Brown all over her.
Yeah, she's playing a very tight defense.
Yes.
Because CJ can put up those threes, but she can also drive. It's tough to defend.
Air ball by Malfuente. Her offensive game hasn't really shown so far. Brown, she can shoot. Not a lot of movement. But Pockenik has her right side. Cutting left, spinning right. Brown at the three-point line. Gives it back to Pockenik. Pockenik for three? No.
And we didn't have anyone for Mohawk and for rebounds there.
I think they might be a little bit intimidated of Semple. 6'2" female. That's a tall lady.
I can understand that.
That's a tall lady for sure. Malfuente. Another interception. That's great. Jump ball. A little bit of confusion there. I thought that was a foul.
Inadvertent whistle.
Oh, inadvertent whistle. Okay, they're going to call Mohawk ball.
No arrow. Inadvertent whistle. Hold on. Subs cannot come in.
A little bit of confusion on the court here. Still some confusion on the floor. At least this is happening in the first quarter rather than the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We're back underway. Douse is posting up down low. Crossing up Isabella. Double teamed all day. Douse is getting swarmed.
Yeah, there was a lot of Humber players in that key.
Bertuzza. Torua missed, but the big rebound by Semple, and she finishes. Excuse me.
That looked like just a little bit of lazy defense by Mohawk, Like, no one was down there for that rebound off that easy bunny.
That was a Tissa Kronk. Sorry about that. Abella, deep triple. No, but Brown's there. Throws it up. No. Gets her own rebound, and that's too late. So at the end of the first quarter, Humber doubles up Mohawk 16-8. And as we've been saying, 8 points in one quarter. You can't win like that.
No, it's not acceptable. I don't know. We're not having a lot of good movement on Mohawk side, and when we do get the shot off, it's blocked or we're getting pushed. You know, like no shot is coming easy for Mohawk. And from what I've been seeing in the key, it looks very intimidating. There's always like 4 Humber girls in there. So how do you cut through that? We saw Brittany Gazzola. She had a good split, you know, a little crossover, and she really split the defense. So if they can get some more moves off of that and get to the net for those easy bunnies, that would definitely help us out.
They should also. We haven't seen a lot of good three-point shooting so far.
No, not at all. And I think just
either
like
team.
Yeah, from either team. So we were expecting more from CJ in the first, and we had an air ball from her, and I haven't really seen any offensive shining a lot. So hopefully for Humber to succeed, if CJ can pull it out, I think she brings a lot of energy to this team. So I'm sure they're expecting more out of her as well.
So we have the Blessed Sacrament Boys Bantam Under 12 team here today. They're here just supporting our hometown Mohawk Marauders. Thank you for coming here, boys. Mountaineers, excuse me. So again, Coach Duffy, he can't like. Do you think he's pleased? He never really looks pleased, but I don't think he's pleased with the way they played in the first quarter.
No, you know, it's so for Duffy to be pleased, he likes to be winning.
Yeah,
so, you know,
course.
I don't think he's going to stop pushing. You know, he's going to keep the subs coming and until he sees a combination that's working for them. So, you know, get some more bigs in. I think Jakayla should be huge in this game because we need a big inside game, and that could be her, and it could be Karina or Carissa Brown. So, hopefully they can kind of bring that on the floor. And, yeah.
Yeah, so we just got the stats. 20% shooting from the Mountaineers. Not very good. But they're leading in points off the bench with 6-2. Nothing's really jumping out. 4 players with 2 points, so no players on the Mountaineers have really taken over. But here's Abella here. Abella crosses left. Douse 2. Misses. Gets her own rebound.
Jen was open over there on the baseline.
Arbor into Brown. Nice pass to Douse. Up and under move. No. Douse gets her own rebound. Abella jumper. No. Arbor with the offensive rebound. She goes up. She finishes.
You know what? The more shots you can get off, the better, right? So if they're not dropping, at least they're getting the rebounds and they're getting those second, third, and fourth opportunities.
Here's Julia Robertson with the ball. And she loses out of bounds. That's strong defense by the Mountaineers.
You know, hopefully this gets a roll going here. You know, they had some offensive movement down there, and now they just had a turnover. So let's keep it going.
Batnick's bat in the game. Abella has a sorry all over her. Gives it into Douse. Douse into Arbor. Arbor's lanky. She gives it back out to Douse. Douse 1-2 up and in.
And there we go.
There's the movement we were talking about.
Yeah, the pushes to the key. And I think the key for Mohawk is Humber wants them to go baseline. And I think Mohawk needs to keep going to the center of the key. That's where Humber doesn't want them. So keep going that way. It sets off their whole defense.
Robertson forced up the shot, and Batnick cannot handle the long outlet pass. That'll be Hawk's ball underneath the basket. The thing with Humber is, because they have players like Kronk who are 5'10" and Aruya who's 6 foot, that gives Jill Semple a lot of rest.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, they're able to filter through those players. And Mohawk, you know, doesn't have as much height as Humber does, so they're going to have to work a lot harder for those boards.
Hogopian left side. She likes that left-hand dribble. She can shoot
All by
it.
herself.
Yeah, didn't want it. Gives it to Asari, cutting baseline, throws it up. No, but Asari will continue to go for the line, this time for 2.
I think that was like another hack by Abella. You know, it didn't need, she was already by her. You know, there was nothing more she could have done. She needed to rely on that help to be there.
But at least with those types of fouls, you want to make sure they don't get the M1, so you have to hack them hard.
Yeah, you don't want to hack them and them get it in.
Exactly. That's the worst. Sorry, hits the first one. Second one is up and good. Sorry, a 75% shooter from the line. And that ball is thrown away. A little bit of confusion there again. Badnick and Pockernick, both first years. That's what happens when you have a lot of rookies on the floor.
Yeah, and I think they were just kind of discussing what the play was there. So
much too easy, but Hagopian could not finish at the basket, and she takes it away.
Another turnover for Mohawk.
Good work by Abella, pushing out.
We're seeing a lot of Miss Bunnies tonight.
Yeah. Abella loses the ball. That's taken down by Kronk.
Oh, and Humber has the numbers here.
Yeah, a lot of numbers. Hagopian inside to Kerr. Kerr sticks her butt out. You're not allowed to do that while moving.
Yeah, you know, and Arbor, she hustled down there to get back on defense to help out, so that's good.
Abella's still hurting on that ankle. I think she might have to sit down for the game, or at least the rest of this quarter to rest it.
I don't think she will, though.
She won't. She has too much heart.
Yeah.
But I think...
Oh, it looks like she's going over to the bench, so...
Foul on Asare as a Clyde of the fours. Kate Arbor and Asare, Mary Asare.
Not that aggressive play, right,
Yeah.
from both teams.
Bench warning for Humber, a little bit too much talk. Refs don't like to be yelled at.
No, not at all.
But that's what happens a lot in basketball.
It does. We don't agree with refs often.
But sloppy play by the Mountaineers. That's a quick turnover. And here comes Robertson on for Asare. Robertson going deep. See if there's going to be one of those long outlet passes, but Hagopian gets. She loves the little spin, which is very smart because you keep your back at the player so they can't poke the ball loose.
Exactly, while you keep control.
Robertson, Hagopian. Big pick set there by Kerr. Hagopian for three, that's off.
I think it was the hesitation, you know, she didn't really want to take that shot, but when it's wide open.
Gazzola, Arbor. Gazzola wants it back, she gets it. Pockernick, quick passing. Batnich gets it rejected and taken away by Kerr.
Yeah, that looked very forced.
Yeah, it was. Nafuente with Pockernick on her. Veteran versus rookie, but two all-stars. Nafuente up and good.
Finish. And she went all the way around the key there. No passes.
Pockernick left side. Haven't seen much offense from her so far. Confusion. Batnick gets it. Arbor for three. Just out. But Kronk takes down the rebound. Alfuente left side calling out a play. Big pick set there. Gets it back, taken away.
Pockernick's been good about getting around those picks. You know, she's not being stopped by them. She's squeezing by with CJ.
Batnick finishes the easy layup and thrown away. Pockernick inside, and that's a good, that's a strong foul. Hunter Johnson will go to the line for two shots, but that's great heads-up play by Pockernick.
Yeah, you know, I think that was almost kind of a hard call. Humber was playing middle ground there, not wanting to commit to her or to number 34 for Mohawk. So it was a good pass. It worked out in their favor, and they got the foul on it.
Abella back in the game.
Yeah, see, I told you she wasn't going to be long. What was it, 30? Maybe a minute?
40 seconds, maybe. Carissa Brown in as well. Also, number 7, Sasha Bertuzza, coming in for Natalie Hagopian for the Hawks. First is good for Johns. Johns already 3 for 3 from the line so far this game. Second one is good as well. She can continue to be aggressive and shoot from the line like she has been. That could be a good thing. Fuente. Kerr up top. Robertson left side. Has Brown all over her. Big pick set there by Kerr to free up Nafuente.
You know, and Humber, they set a lot of picks, so I think I'm not hearing much from Mohawk, you know, with communication with that. So I think Pockernick didn't even know that pick hit her until it hit her, so she wasn't able to get around there.
Arbor called on the foul there with Kerr. She did shoot it after the foul, but they're not going to say it counts. 14 on the shot clock. Fuente is so fast. She just darts towards the ball. She has the whole right side. Offensive foul on Fuente.
You know, and these are the kind of calls that get inside your head, right? So now Humber's had 2 offensive calls, and that can easily take a player out of the game.
Again, good defense by Pockernick, keeping her feet moving, keeping her arms straight up in the air.
And, you know, I like Mohawk's defense so far. They're playing pretty tight, and they're taking those chances, and it's good because Humber has a lot of players that can control the ball well.
Another foul. I think this one's going to go out. Fuente. No, it's not. It's actually going to go on Julia Robertson. That could have been big if it was on Fuente, because that would have been 3 on her. 5:30 remaining in the second, but it was not. Brown to inbound. Brown inside Johns. Throws it up. Gets her own rebound. She has the left side. She gets rejected by Kerr.
You know, she went up with that right hand. She needed the left hand there.
But again, that's a little bit of court unawareness, trying to keep that ball in bounds when it last touched off Kerr. Double team attempt broken up quick for the Mountaineers. Semple's back on the court. She gives it inside Kerr. Arms straight up. She picked up her dribble. Gives it over to Semple. Semple throws one up.
Oh,
No
look at
good.
that was a great box out by Kate Arbus. Took her right out of the key.
Brown, Abella. Ooh, you can tell that ankle's a little bit weak and tender.
Yeah, we're just not seeing the agile Abella that we're used to.
And she's down again.
She takes a tumble.
She
you know?
does.
It doesn't matter, you know, she's at 100%, she still goes just as hard, and she still tumbles.
That's what you gotta love about her.
Yeah.
Timeout taken by Mohawk. Mohawk has cut the lead to 4. Humber up 20-16, and this is the offense we're used to seeing from Mohawk.
Exactly. We're seeing the tough play, and you know what? I think on Mohawk's side, Humber was coming to their gym, and they would love more than anything to beat Humber. And I think Humber came here. Oh, St. Clair beat Mohawk. Okay, this is going to be walk in the park, you know? They were late warming up. We had Mohawk girls out shooting around. Humber
Hours early, yeah.
Yeah, Humber kind of strolled in, like, okay, we're going to just walk it out, you know, do a little jog, and Mohawk easy game, right? So I think Humber's coach is probably getting a little frustrated. We haven't really seen CJ's top play.
Not the best, no.
You know, we've seen a couple good bunnies from her, a couple good offensive assists, but I think she needs to pick it up as well.
But if you're on the other side, if you're AJ Sharma, there's a lot of frustration, but I think the frustration with the whole bench is on the refs, and that might need to turn against the players. You need to get in the players' head that we're 5-0. We have the chance of being national champions. We have to continue winning.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the refs, I never really got that. You know, the refs are calling the game, right? You have to control the parts of the games that you can control. You cannot let the refs take the game away from you, essentially.
Exactly.
You need to keep your mentality, and hopefully they can keep it together that way and not pay attention to the ref calls. You know, the refs call sometimes bad calls both ends.
Bella just got shoved to the ground, but Pockernick has it 1-2. Left-hand hook. Very tough shot. Fuente takes down the rebound. She gets mauled. That's going to be on Pockernick. Pockernick now with 2 fouls. Fuente, Kerr in a big matchup with Johns. Hands it off to Robertson. Robertson up and under. Nice finish.
That was a great play. You know, she was able to divide the defense there and finish very lightly.
Pockernick, Gazzola showing, gets Abella for 3. Has not been her game so far this season.
No. And once again, we saw the movement along the arc, but we didn't see any penetration. You know, I think Mohawk needs to be getting into the key and then pop it out for the 3. Once the defense backed off, then, you know, Jen can get a closer shot and a better look without a defender right on her.
Yeah, that was a very forced shot. We're not used to seeing from Abella. Kerr left side, hands it off Robertson. Robertson's been great off the bench. She's going to try again. And there you go.
There you go, yeah, just laid it up there nicely. She makes it look easy.
Ball almost gets thrown away by Gazzola and Abella. Left side Pockernick. Inside Johns. Johns with the nice jumper. Too strong, gets her own rebound. Nice bounce pass into Brown. Great work.
That was, yeah, great work. Humber looked like they kind of fell asleep there. We didn't really have a grab for the rebound at all.
No, Fuente too quick. Gives it off. Too strong.
Yeah, you know, she had
Bertuzza.
someone inside there. I think she should have opted for the pass in.
Oh, overthrew by Pockernick, but great hustle by Brown to keep it in bounds, and she loses possession. They're going to call the foul on Abella.
That was a lot of fast gameplay there on both sides.
We've seen that a couple times with Brown. Ball's just jumped up, hopped up on her. Group substitution as we see Kronk and Hagopian back on the floor for the Hawks. Robertson and Bertuzza will take a seat. Good attempt by Johns,
Yeah, it was a good hustle.
keeping up with the very fast Nofuente.
Well, you know, when they're inbounding, you know their first idea is to get it to CJ. So if you can take that away, I think it'll fluster Humber because they're having to move away from their point guard, which no team likes to do.
Jessica Ireland and Jakayla Douse now on the floor for the Mountaineers. As we said at the open, bench play is going to be huge today. Kronk, Nofuente up top. Casual pass to Kerr. She's got the jumper. She's going to hit that all day.
Yeah, right around the elbow.
Yeah. Abella right side. Thought about giving it to Ireland, gives it over to Gazzola. Gazzola crossing right. Very
And we just
congested.
can't get into that key.
Batnich fires one up. No good. Good looking stroke. Fuente, Kronk, Semple. Semple and Kronk on the floor. That's dangerous. Anchor. Very tall lineup here. Ball's on the floor. Kept alive by Ireland. Gazzola over Abella. Ireland inside. Douse. Gazzola for three. Short. Those are the three-pointers you have to hit wide open like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just about to say, you know, that that play movement is the kind of stuff I like to see. You know, they took it into the key, and then they saw that the defense had shifted, and Gazzola was wide open. It's too bad that she couldn't hit that one.
So Humber's lead is back up to 8. Mohawk 18, Humber 26. They have the movement, as we were saying, they started to get this movement going on offense, but now it's just shots that need to go in.
Exactly, yeah, you know, so they're a lot better than St. Clair, the game that we watched then. It was painful watching that one. So we're having a lot better positive movement. You know, we're getting into the key a lot more, and we're getting those second and third chances. So we're getting the offensive rebounds too. So hopefully we can start putting them in. I think that's just repetition and feeling more comfortable.
Coach Sharma tending to go now with the bigger lineup with Kerr, Kronk, and Semple. As a player, does that feel intimidating when you see those three girls that are over 5'11"?
Oh, for sure. Like, especially for me, I'm not even close to that. I'm like 5'4" end of that. So it's definitely intimidating when you're looking at that, because even if they're not in the key, when you're a point guard and you're looking at it, it still looks like the key's full just because of their size.
Exactly.
So it's definitely intimidating, and they can definitely use it for their advantage because Mohawk is a smaller team. But I think Mohawk has the quickness. If you know, Jen-Jen's hurt once again, so if Jen-Jen could get her agility back and be feeling 100%, it would be all the better.
So just over 2 minutes remaining in this first half. A lot of positives, some negatives for both teams.
Yeah, I haven't seen like an outstanding game from either side.
Exactly. Nofuente going left. Kronk, Kerr, poked away by Douse. Bella, Batnich for three, no. Douse and Nofuente fighting and Brown to the ground.
Oh, great fight for the ball.
Abella
Oh, what a great see by
Back door.
Brown. That's the kind of play we like to see. And that's some team chemistry we just saw there. You know, she knew she was cutting. They, made eye contact, wasn't super vocal about it, and it was there.
Gronk lost the ball out of bounds. Batnich has been solid so far.
And Mohawk, the players are off the bench there a little bit, so they're starting to get riled up. And, speaking as a player, that's, the kind of energy that you need. You need to have your players behind you, whether they're on the court or off the court.
Bella left side.
And see, she wants Gendon to go left.
Pick for Ireland. Brown, cross-court pass, Batnich. Douse gives it back to Batnich.
Shot clock's running down.
Bella's gonna stop, pop, air ball.
And that was just, we didn't see a lot of movement there, and then the shot clock's running down, so she had to take that one.
That's the thing with this team compared to the last couple of years. Not a lot of three-point shooters.
No.
It's very true.
Yeah, I think the big thing is we're missing Steph Reinmack, which is, our main three-point shooter, and I think she kind of gets the game going. She gets a couple three-pointers, and, that's 6 points right there. That's huge.
Speaking of 3 points, that was a great attempt by Kerr, but she missed. Hagopian picks up the rebound. She gets fouled. She'll go to the line for 2 shots. Hagopian, not the best at the line throughout the season, 45%. Couldn't tell there. Second one is missed, and Douse with a strong rebound. Not really contested, and that's thrown out of bounds.
That's just the turnovers that we need to be avoiding, right? So now it's a missed opportunity. It's Humber's ball.
Wild play there. So La Fuente will go to the line for 2 shots. First one short.
Quite a few fouls on both sides for this quarter. So CJ getting to the line because of it.
She learned her range and got the second one. Brown has the whole left side, but picks up her dribble.
And that's the thing with Humber's defense. It's kind of, it's like a little tease.
Yeah.
Because there will be 3 Humber girls just waiting for her if she bites on it.
Douse, Arbor, no go. No Fuente chucks it to Kerr. What a pass. No good. Arbor has 4 seconds. Throws it away. No Fuente, Kerr at the buzzer. No.
And that last pass by CJ, that precision, she got it exactly where she wanted it. That was awesome.
She's looking like Aaron Rodgers out there.
Yeah, I don't watch football, but I'm assuming that's a football player.
So the score at the end of the first half, 28-20 for Humber. And again, as I was saying during the broadcast, a lot of positives, but there also are some negatives.
Yeah, Mohawks definitely had better movement than the last game that we saw them, but we're not having, that one player shine out and get the game rolling for them. Same with Humber, they're making their shots and they're ahead by Mohawk right now, but just not exceptional play. I haven't seen anyone that I've been like, wow, they're playing outstanding today. They're taking the game.
But defensively, you got to be proud if you're Mohawk right now.
Oh, for sure. It's hard. Duffy's hard on defense. So when he wants you defending hard, it doesn't matter if he wants you to do it for a quarter, 2 quarters, or the whole game. And he looks like he's really pushing it for the whole game. They've been doing a lot of full court pressure, and I think it's awesome that you're playing that close because you get tired after a while. And I think he's making the substitutes fast enough that it's working for him.
Let's go take a look at some first half highlights. There's just a
Good
Bella cutting through the
Yeah,
lane.
just splits the defense there.
There's No Fuente. Robertson, she played outstanding. There's
We've
both
seen
of her baskets.
a lot of tricky bunnies going in, but not a lot of our easier ones, you would think.
So Christine has head coach of Mohawk. What's he got to say, Christine?
Thanks, guys. Now I'm here joined by the Mountaineer coach, Kevin Duffy. Now, Coach, this has been an incredibly aggressive, physical first half. There's been a ton of fouls. How are you keeping your players focused?
That's all. We knew that coming in. Playing Humber, it's always a physical game. They like to hand check a lot and bump a lot. And, we just tell our kids, you got to fight through it. That's just part of the game. Sometimes the refs are going to call it. Sometimes it's a bit marginal. They won't call it because they want to keep the flow of the game going, which we understand. But, it's nothing new to us. It's always a big rivalry game we play them, and we expect this type of physicality.
All right, so what can we expect to see in the second half?
Well, we have to do a better job. Defensively, we're pretty happy. I mean, you hold a team like that to 28 points, that's pretty good. Offensively, we got to start executing. It's just a matter of us not executing. We got to attack our screens better. We got to see open people. They're going down to double down low a lot. We have people on the perimeter wide open for shots, and we got to see them and then make those shots.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of the game. Back to you guys.
It's 28-20. We'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to the second half from the Dave Brayley Athletic Center. Again, Liam Dunlop and Sadie Martin. Humber's up 28-20, but what have you been seeing from Humber?
Yeah, you know what? Mohawk's actually keeping in this game here, but Humber, they're aggressive team. So aggressive playing from both ends, we've seen it. But Humber, they're really get to the key, a lot of fast breaking. So if they can keep that up and keep up that momentum, they might wear Mohawk out and it could start working in their advantage and they can pull the lead ahead even more.
We were talking about CJ Nofuente a lot at the beginning of the game. She hasn't been playing that great.
No, we haven't seen a star that we thought we were going to see today. So no three-pointers, not many points on the board. We saw one move where she went all the way around the key and finished nicely. Yeah, it was nice, but we're expecting to see more of that from her, right? I think some more steals and some more play from her. And Mohawk, they've had 11 steals for Mohawk, so they've had a lot of aggressive play, and that's the kind of little quick things that can make a huge difference. If you steal and you're still in their end of the court, then you can get an easy bunny from that. So if they can keep up that aggressive play, as Humber is, I think we still have a good game ahead of us.
But the first stat that really popped out to both of us was the shooting percentage for Mohawk.
Very low.
Very, very low.
22%.
And 0 for 9 from 3.
Yeah, so I think that's when you got to stop taking the threes. Work the ball around more, get it into your bigs inside, and, if you get it inside and then someone's wide open on the three, then pass it out. But don't force the three because it's not working in their favor so far. Just about to start the second half here.
So, Christine, you got an interview with the head coach of Humber. What did he say to you? Thank you very much. There's No Fuente. We were just talking about her. She gets hacked. By
It's that
Badnick.
aggressive play on both ends there. I'm sure we'll see a lot of fouls in the second half.
Yeah, there was a lot of fouls in the first half, as we said. That's where Nofuente was really strong. Now with 5 fouls drawn.
Yeah, so, she drives the ball a lot, so that's bound to happen unless you're sitting down there by yourself. Mohawk's not going to let her have those easy buckets, and she's going to get hit, and that can work for her if she starts making these foul shots.
Misses both.
And that was a great box out by Arbor.
Abella, left side, pick set by Douse, but Asari runs right through that. Arbor, left side, Abella. Abella steps around, gives it to Brown. Brown, backside, Batnick.
Oh.
Before the shot, they call the travel.
Yeah, she just needed to put that ball down once. She would have got there.
Hagopian. Hagopian rushing the floor all the way. That's an offensive foul. A little too aggressive there by Natalie Hagopian. Yeah.
Try.
So Abella has Asari all over her. Asari is a very strong defender. Douse. Short pass to Brown.
I think Jax has her sealed there. Get her the ball.
Yeah, that was a
you
good.
can see Douse frustration there.
Got a little bit late. Hagopian, Nofuente, cutting left, going left, giving it up, and that is so easy for Semple.
Yeah, that was a good play by Humber there. Quick, fast passes, again by the Mohawk defense.
Abella, Batnick. Nice pump fake, up and missed, but she'll go line for 2 shots.
And that was a good choice, She could have taken the shot there, but she saw that she had a little lane, so why not get the closer look?
Duffy wants to get a couple words in without using a timeout, and this is always the time to do it. Douse's first one is up and good. They're going to call the lane violation, so that second shot will not count. Douse will have another attempt. Second one is up and true. Another football pass by Nofuente.
Yeah, a little too far for her.
No go. I really like those passes, though.
Yeah, Humber, they keep you on your toes, right?
Yeah.
Mohawk knows that ball is going to be sent down there, and they need to get back on defense.
Wow. Sorry, it's all over her, but I don't believe that's a foul. Yeah, I totally agree with what Asari is saying. She did take her arm off of her.
Yeah, you know what? And I think Jen can use her size to her advantage there, because all she has to do is just bend her shoulder the right way. And from the ref's perspective, from the back, it looks like she's being shoved. It's just, that strategic gameplay. Oh, and, Jen was there for that. I think she could have gotten it.
Batnick to Brown.
Still finished the play, though.
Asari got a pick there, and she's not very pleased with what's going on.
Humber's looking a little flustered right now.
Asari up, missed. She gets it back, and that's all day. Great hustle on the offensive end. Oh, there's a football pass of our own for the Mountaineers. But no touchdown. Hands it off. Brown spinning right, going right, loses the ball, double dribble.
And that was just, she walked into a Humber wall.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit too much dribbling, pass the ball around a little bit more.
And sometimes it can be a one-woman wall with Semple. 6'2".
Definitely.
I continue to say it, but just right beside Kate Arbor. And Kate Arbor's a tall girl.
Yeah.
She almost has a head on her.
Yeah, Kate doesn't look very tall anymore.
Nofuente Hands it off to Kerr. No travel call.
Yeah, that looked like it traveled me. It was pretty
Yeah.
slow.
Kerr misses her second one, and Arbor snatches the rebound away from 2 Hawks. Nice pass in. Arbor up, no foul call.
She knocked the wall down, though.
Yeah, that was close. They're going to call the foul.
No, another.
That'll go against Carissa Brown, actually. Group substitution on the floor for the Mountaineers. Gazzola, Karina Brown, and number 43, Hunter Johns, on the court. Fuente up top to Asari. Asari's so long, but no. Good defense by Abella. Gazzola picks up her dribble. She has to get rid of it. Throws it over to Brown. Brown hands it off to Johns. Risky pass, but Gazzola takes down. 1-2, up, no. Ball is last touch off Mohawk.
I think there was some more miscommunication there. It looks like Johns for Mohawk, she went down there and posted up, and Brittany wanted to run the play, and so it was slow again, and we ran down that shot clock, and Gazzola then had to force that layup.
Atissa Kronk stepping in for Jill Semple. Technical foul being called on the floor on Duffy. Coach Duffy wants to get another couple words in. He wants to talk to the crew chief of the reffing. He's giving him a piece of his mind.
Yeah, I think both coaches in a game like this can get frustrated. You have so many elements in the game, right? You want your players playing well. You don't want to get bad calls on your side, and the other coach doesn't want bad calls on his side. So I think it's a tricky situation for refs to work around that.
Kerr to the line for the technical free throw. She is good from the line. She still hasn't missed this season. And again, with a technical, the Hawks will get the ball. And here's Kerr. Ball's taken away, but Brown cannot retrieve. Hawks ball, right sideline, 12 on the shot clock, 6:13 on the game clock.
And Humber's still keeping that lead.
Lafuente, Kerr, all the way left side, Asari. Nice pass to Hagopian. Hagopian for 3. No.
No threes this game.
No threes for either team so far. Ooh, Abella had Pockenik right side, but they chose to give it left side to Gazzola. Gazzola cutting baseline, throws it up short. Brown and Nofuente. That's why Nofuente gets the rebound. She is strong on the board. Nice bounce pass out. Hagopian deep 2. That's good.
That's good. That's one of the outside shots that we've seen in this game. It's been a lot of inside.
Johns, left side, Pockenik. Let's see what she can do. Goes up,
And you
again
see,
short.
The defense showed her that lane, and as soon as she got close, then, the help defense jumps in, and so it's gone. Your shot's taken away.
Kronk hands it off. Hagopian. Malfuente for 3. No. She kind of flopped at the end of that.
Yeah, I think she was hoping the refs might be on her favor for that shot.
Ball just taken away by Nofuente. Gazzola loses the ball. Timeout taken by Mohawk. And this is where frustration.
Yeah, it looks like Mohawk's trying to get that the game under control again. When Humber starts cheering, you almost want to call a timeout because you want to stop the roll that they're on and get Mohawk refocused.
Yeah, Humber now up 37-24, and this is where negativity starts to come into play for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, for sure. You have to keep the persistence, and I think even Duffy getting at the refs and getting a technical, every little thing adds to the mentality of this game. So I think Mohawk just needs to stay strong because now they're gonna be thinking, oh, well, that was a bad call.
Yeah.
They start talking to, and they need to, just keep it in the game. You can't blame the refs. You gotta just play your game, and I think just get to the key is what their main point that they should be trying to achieve right now.
When you played for Mohawk last year, what was your mentality on that? So say Coach Duffy would get a technical. Would you be, yes, the coach is finally standing up for us, or would you be like, oh, coach, why'd you do that?
Yeah, you know what, refs, I've never really had a problem with refs getting inside my head. I can have players get inside my head.
Yeah.
When they're grabbing me and stuff, that bothers
Throws
me.
you off, yeah.
Yeah, it throws me off for sure. But refs never did, because it was always a factor that I knew was uncontrollable. And yeah, I never really had a problems with the refs. It would be more when I see people get flustered about the refs, I'd be like, why?
Just relax. Just
Yeah,
relax.
it's okay. So, and Jakayla's usually really good about that and bringing everyone back down to a controlled level, because she keeps a very level head when she plays.
As I said, Humber's lead up to 13 now. It's not insurmountable, but Mohawk needs to get some points on the board. Hand off to Pakernik. Gazzola.
They're just not seeing their bigs quick enough. Like, Karina has her sealed pretty well. Like, if you can see her numbers, I think she needs to get the ball.
Pakernik, great spin move, but cannot finish at the bucket. No Fuente. Hagopian for three. There it is.
Good. That's, yeah, the first three-pointer of the game, and, 3 points is better than 2, so if you can lengthen the lead even more.
The ice is starting to melt. Up top, Gazzola, left side, Abella. Pick coming both ways, and that's a good pass, but hits off the knee of Brown.
And Humber looks more relaxed at this point. They're taking their time bringing the ball up, and looks like they're moving around a lot more because they know that they can use this time.
Hagopian's feeling confident. They're going to say offensive foul before the shot.
Once again, very physical team that we've said over and over again. And so these refs, I think they're controlling it the best they can. There's only so many things that you can call, but I think a couple of offensive calls should, as a player, you have to read what the refs are giving you and back off your play.
Another group substitution for Mohawk. Switching out bigs seemed to be the game plan. Another take, but another short layup. This time was Jessica Ireland. Nice bounce pass into Asare. Goes left, and that's and one.
CJ, she is such a great offensive player, and her passes, they're precise. We've only had one pass that she overthrew. All the other ones are exactly where she wants them to go.
And that bounce pass was low, but it just got a little bit of oomph off the floor.
Right there, yeah. She went through 2 Mohawk players.
Yeah,
so
amazing. Oh, sorry, misses, but there's Kerr. Excuse me, Orua. Sorry about that. That's Orua, and she has the ball back. She loses the ball, but doesn't go out of bounds. Kronk has it. Kronk throws it up. No. Douse with the rebound. 42-24. Mohawk hasn't scored. They only have 4 points this quarter. Douse outside. Pakernik. Too strong, and this field goal percentage is just going down.
Yeah, no, I think Mohawk needs to do some more like post to post. Have someone high, have someone low, and do some rotation there. Because I think really their main offense should be in the key at this point.
Good try by Urua, but taken down, poked out by Kronk. Nofuente chucks it up.
Yeah, she was
Falls
stopped
up,
there.
tipped out to Hagopian. Nofuente just chucks it up again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there. There was 10 on the shot clock. Douse just using her speed. Almost chucks it away, but goes to Abella. Pakernik chucks one up. Again, no. Douse wants it herself. Douse finishes
Great
with the right
finish.
hand.
And I love how she does that. She backs herself right into the player and just hooks it over, and it's a great move.
They teach the bigs millions of post-up moves, but it's what you can use in game. Urua. Asare for 3, she misses. Another big rebound by Pachernik. But Pachernik's lacking on the offensive end right now. She's making up for on the defensive end, and Douse gets mauled.
You know what? That was a good play, though. They had the outlet, which is awesome. They were able to get it up the floor, and they didn't take the first cutter. So Humber girls were all over because that's generally the first play that you go for. And Douse was right there to follow, and she was able to take it right to the hoop.
Douse will go to the line for 2 shots. Another group substitution. The first time we're seeing Julia Randazzo for the Mountaineers. She was with the team last year. CJ Nofuente is going to take a seat. Douse misses the first one. Semple and Kerr are also ready to come back on for the Hawks. Conversation being had between the 2 refs. I think it's maybe a legal substitution. Confusion again.
Yeah, I don't think the refs are communicating very well either.
They're wondering about a substitution, and nothing happened. That happens sometimes. Still early in the referee season, too. Semple was in very early.
Yeah,
but the ball went in, so I think if it didn't go in, they would have called it.
Yeah.
That's Kronk, excuse me. Semple is now in the game.
I like this pressure from Mohawk.
Hagopian's open. Kerr gets it poked loose. Hagopian goes right into the chest of Arbor, but strong defense from her, keeping her arms straight up. Randazzo cutting through the lane, and she gets rejected by Semple. Long arms.
It's easy to see why, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, she tried to sneak by her, but Semple can just reach her arms right over.
Brown into Arbor. Arbor goes left, goes right. Travels first. Ball didn't go in anyways, and here comes Nofuente. Nofuente just takes 30-second rests, and she's back in. She'll take out Natalie Hagopian. Fuente, Semple. Semple with the power move, and she just leaves it way short.
Yeah, that was barely left her hand.
Yeah. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Nofuente goes, gets her own rebound, and she gets fouled. Oh my goodness, she has heart.
Yeah, you know, I think Mohawk's defense is kind of working for them, though. The intense pressure up front, they're not laying the ball into the person that Humber wants to get it to, and it's overall just slowing down Humber's play. They're not setting up the play that they want to. SCJ is still at the line, though, so, you know, she'll pull it out for her team when she needs to.
That's where it's tough, because you see the Mountaineers, as Nofuente hits the first one, you see the Mountaineers picking their players, and they are boxing out, but then the shooter comes out of nowhere and gets her own rebound.
Yeah, and you know what? That's also it's shooter advantage, right? You shot the shot, you know kind of where it's going, and so you can hopefully get there.
Rushing the floor, Arbor has it up and no.
Bad pass.
Yeah, Semple just lost the ball out of her hands. A little slippery. Humber 44, Mohawk 27, 36.3 seconds remaining. Brown to Brown. Forced inside. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Nice little scoop there by Karina Brown. Nofuente smartly takes it back. One shot as the shot clock is off. Under 10 seconds remaining in the third.
And Carissa, she's reading that pick, but she's not sure.
That was great defense, but
Yeah,
gives it
it
off to Semple. Too strong. Let's see if Arbor just chucks it. No, she wants to save the field goal percentage.
Yeah. Don't throw another one away.
So at the end of the third quarter, Humber 44, Mohawk 29. After 3 quarters, 29 points. That's tough.
It is, yeah, it is tough, but at least Mohawk, they're still fighting. Like, I haven't seen them give up. Duffy still has them on that full court press, and it's slowing Humber down, but Humber's just weaving through their defense and is getting all these fouls called, and so they're getting to the line for a lot to fix their easy bunnies.
Especially, their defense has been very strong. Humber is averaging 85.2 points per game,
Yeah.
and Humber only has 44.
Yes, I'm sure their coach is not happy about that at all. For both teams, we're seeing very low scoring on both ends for any college team, but at least Mohawk's holding them back. We just need to, if they were making half the bunnies that they took, this game could be a really good game.
Mohawk's averaging 72 points per game, and they're not even close right now with 29.
No, not at all. And yeah, it's unfortunate that Humber, they're bigger girls, so when you're shooting, you have to take that into account. And if you're not gonna be able to draw the foul, then you need to be able to kick the ball out and take that outside shot.
Looking at the stat sheet, Mary Asare is the leading point getter.
And she was actually the MVP for the 2015 OCAS championship game.
Yep.
So she had a huge game then. Like, she can be very hard on defense. Like, when she's in the zone, that ball's hers no matter what. She steals a lot, and she can also have really good offense. But her mentality can get kind of taken away there. So I saw earlier in the game, she was taken off the court because she just got flustered by a ref's call. And I think that's coach kind of saying, okay, come off, settle down.
No Fuente hasn't been shooting a strong clip. She's 2 for 10 shooting, but she's all over the stat sheet. 10 points, 11 boards, 5 assists. So she's on verge for another triple double.
Yeah, she's just all around a great player. You can't stop her. Her passes. How many long bombs do we see? Crazy. The bounce pass one, that was awesome. So she's just a very dynamic player and brings a ton for the Humber.
5 steals as well.
5 steals, yeah.
Dowse taking it in. There you go. Jaquela Dowse is the leading point getter for the Mountaineers with 9. That's not a lot.
It's not a lot, but yeah, it's not a lot.
Karina Brown's next with 6. She's 3 for 3 shooting. She hasn't missed.
Great defense.
Yeah, big takeaway by Dowse. Dowse gets
let's
it.
see if she can.
Into Brown.
Great passes.
Great
there
passing.
we go. And everyone's off the bench on the Mohawk side. This is the kind of role that they need. So if they can take Humber out of their game and make it a Mohawk game, we could see a turn.
Fuente with a little push off.
And another.
Yes. Taken away.
And up to Jen.
Abella, there's going to be no foul call, but they're going to say last touch off Humber. It looked like it got kicked off Abella, but there could have been a foul there first. More communication, too, between the Humber coach and the refs.
Just clarification.
Ball needs to get thrown in, and it does to Abella. Picks up by Brown. Strong pass. Pockenik just hasn't had herself a game so far.
Not at all. I don't think she's
0 for 8 shooting, but
in the St. Clair game, though, it was the second half that she turned it on. So
very true.
Maybe we're just winding her up.
Yeah,
She'll
exactly.
be unleashed this quarter.
Ball gets kicked out of bounds, so that'll be Hawks ball. No Fuente. For 3.
That was a fast shot.
That was quick for Bertuzza. It looked good. I think that was a set play. Abella.
I saw, Karina Brown, again, she has her sealed off very nicely. I just think Humber's so big that it's hard for our point guards to even see her down there.
Flyby by Asare, but Abella cannot hit the shot. Abella, again, she's also not having a great game. She's 1 for 9 shooting.
It was a travel on Humber's side, so another turnover for Mohawk's benefit.
Timeout taken by Humber, which makes total sense, and this is the way Mohawk wanted to start this fourth quarter.
Exactly. Yeah, they had to. You know, I'm sure Duffy gave him as one of his motivational talks and lit a fire underneath them because they're not going to walk back into this game.
As we were talking about at the beginning of the game, turnovers have been a big issue. Mohawk after 3 had 20, and Humber even had 18. So both teams just very sloppy play, like passing-wise.
Yeah, exactly. So I think both teams are so strong defensively that you know, it adds to your turnovers because you're trying to do everything faster, trying to be that step ahead of the defense, and you end up making bad passes and poor decisions. So I think it's just good, you know, pressure defense on both ends of those the teams as well.
What I really see from looking at this stat sheet right now is Mohawk 23.4% shooting from the field, but from the free throw line they're 7 of 8. So would you suggest rushing the floor, running into the lane, and just trying to get hit as much and get to the line as much as possible?
You know, I don't actually think so, because I think that Mohawk, when they get into that rushy game, it's not their game at this point, just with so many rookies that they're having to move too fast for them to think. So I think that they really need to be getting into their veteran bigs. So, you know, the Browns, Jacayla Dow, she's already having a great game. Get it into your bigs. Let them work it inside. You know, Jacayla, she can hold her own in there. And I think she can really do something good for the Mohawk in this last quarter.
Missed shot there, but taken down by Kerr. Nofuente's going to waste as much time as possible, swinging it all the way left. Bertuzza up top. Nofuente back to Bertuzza. Trying to get it inside to Kronk, but Karina Brown didn't want that, but fouls her first.
Yeah, you know, she just needed to be that half a step in front of her to get the denial.
Bertuzza, another foul call. This time I think that's going to go against Hunter Johns. It is. That's good sealing out by the Hawks, forcing fouls. Asare misses, gets her own rebound, misses again.
Wow, and she didn't really have any defensive pressure there on her. And you can see.
She is very frustrated.
Yeah, see, and that's the kind of mental lapse that you can't be having in a game like this.
That is 4 fouls on Asare, so that's huge.
And she's not happy about that at all.
Still a game, folks. Brown inside, misses.
Just that, you know, that just a little bit lighter. You know, when you're going to the net that hard, it's you just got to remember that basketball's like an egg. You just want to lay it off the back.
Abella trying to keep the ball in bounds as best as possible, but her and Agopian get tangled up, and last touch by Abella. Agopian lobs it in. No
Good denial by Jen.
Agopian for 3. No. A lot of missed shots taken by Humber, but Mountaineers need to make them regret these choices.
Yeah, you know, I think we need to get the outlet, a couple passes right up the court.
Brown gets it again, up in, no. But she will go to the line for 2 shots. That could have been a game changer.
Yeah, you know, but at least they're getting there, right? And if you get the foul called, then let's make these 2 and keep ourselves in the game.
Group substitution.
And we have some more bigs coming in.
Arbor and Brown taking off Batnich and Johns. First one is good.
Stack! Stack! This is their press lineup. Stack! Let's go. You inbound. Lock! Lock! CJ!
Second one is off.
Rail denied!
Lafonte has Brown all over her. That's great denial defense.
Yeah.
This is the defense you like to play here.
Exactly.
Picked up the
And,
dribble.
you know, when you're playing such a key player like that, you can't play help defense. You know, if I'm sure Duffy told her, you're on CJ,
Yeah.
and that's it.
You
Stay
have to
glued
be.
to her. Once she lets go of that ball, don't let her have it back.
Kronk threw the ball away, so that'll be Mountaineers' ball. Dose has it, gives it up to Bella. Let's see what she can get going. Tries to step back, gives it off to Pocknick. Pocknick, 1-2, up with left hand, and
Wow.
one.
That was a great move. She pocketed the ball so, you know, no arms could get at her, and laid it up with her left, so that was a beautiful play.
Lead is cut to 8, can be 7.
Is that her first time on the board?
Yeah, that's her first field goal.
Yeah.
First 2 points of the game, and she was our player to watch for Mohawk. But again, rookie, there's a lot of pressure on you, especially coming off the bench, putting up 15 points last game, averaging 22.
And you know what? There's something about facing Humber too. Like, you can't really prepare yourself for it. They're a very physical team, so even that can be intimidating enough.
Misses the and one free throw, but she gets her own rebound back. Abella cuts, ball's on the floor. Arbor has it. Brown chucks it off the foot of Kronk.
And you know, they're like, Mohawk had a lot of time. They looked a little flustered there. I think, you know, get your point guard back up to the front and just slow it down a little. It's 44-36 for Humber, though. Mohawk has closed the gap to under 10 points.
Yeah, it's huge. Brown to inbound, gives it up to Dose. Dose throws up the left-hand hook. Shot clock violation. Here comes the big press by the Mountaineers. Gets into Kronk. Kronk hands it off to Nofuente. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here by Carissa Brown.
Yeah, you know what? Last year she didn't play any basketball, but I know the year before, you know, the Twins, they were like a force to be reckoned with
Yeah.
on defense. So I think, you know, there was a lot of getting back into the basketball frame of stuff. I know as soon as I stopped playing, I lost my fitness. So I think once she gets her quickness back, it could really be a huge asset.
Pertuzza chucked it inside to Arua, and they're going to call the foul. That'll go against Douse. Humber to inbound with Hagopian. Gives off to Nofuente. Fuente faked out Brown in a little bit of chippy play.
You know, in the end, Carissa Brown did have the ball, but I think, you know, she kind of had to have her arm reached around in there in order to get there. So I think the foul was the right call.
Yep. Here it goes back to Nofuente. Almost lost it. One-hand pass. Pertuzza, she has not been on with her game.
And she's a very fast shooter. Like, the ball
Very
barely gets in her hands,
No
and
arc.
she's throwing it up there.
No arc. Abella, right side, Brown. Douse, fakes it left, goes right. Abella cuts baseline, 1-2, up, no go.
You know, and the Humber bigs are just down there waiting for her again.
Lafuente crossing left, going left, right into a brick wall and chucks it out of bounds.
And, you know, and before it looked like Karina. They look the same, you know,
Of
it's kind of
course,
hard.
of
Yeah. She looked like she was fighting down there a little bit. So there's it's definitely a physical game, and, you know, it's a hard game for both teams to play in.
Gazzola on the court to bring some speed.
Yeah, you know, and she brings a lot of steals and defensive plays, so hopefully, you know, a couple of steals from Brittany Gazzola would really help Mohawk here. Oh,
Attempted pass, Douse to Brown. That was the right play, but a little too much mustard.
I could, like, see it happening. It was
So
going to be
could
so
I.
beautiful, and it's an unfortunate pass.
That's one of Duffy's plays. And there it is. That's what the call.
That's the steal we need.
Just called that. Pakarnik inside Douse.
Oh.
No foul call, but that's tipped out of bounds by the Hawks. 14 on the shot clock, under 5 minutes remaining, and it's a game.
Yeah, both teams are definitely, frustrated for different reasons, and they're both fighting. That was a great steal by Pakarnik.
I think Abella thought about shooting there. I'm not in her head, but she loves to shoot the deep three. She goes up, passes it off. Douse with the rebound.
Oh.
No! Last touch by Humber again.
It's
Those are the
painful
ones
to
you have
watch
to-
these little bunnies
Yeah.
and just circling around. We could have had, 4 or 6 points by now just in these last couple plays.
Gazzola has it. Pick set by Brown. They're going to call holding on Robertson. Got a little too aggressive with Gazzola.
And the fouls, they're going up for both teams. Both 4 fouls for Mohawk and Humber in this quarter.
If you're not a big college basketball fan, 5 fouls and it's called the penalty. That means any offensive foul.
So if I'm like a Mohawk player right now, I want to take it to them because
course.
that's going to be huge. If you can get to the foul line, perfect.
Pakarnik cutting baseline, getting up. She gets hacked. That's exactly.
I'm on the ball
Yeah,
today.
you are. Psychic. So Pakarnik to the line for 2 shots. She missed the last one, but she got her own rebound, so we will see how she fares. This one's money. Pakarnik, an 89% shooter from the floor, from the free throw line, excuse me. Both are good. Lead is now cut to 6. 2-possession lead for the Hawks. Off the backboard.
Wow. And that's just bad
Yeah,
pass.
That's a bad pass.
Duffy,
that backboard's pretty high.
Duffy's getting a little excited here, so.
Pakarnik in Abella. Up to Gazzola. Fakes right, goes left, throws one up. Awkward shot.
Yeah. You have the time in your favor. Set something up. Get it to Jen and let her call a play.
They're going to call the foul on Gazzola. So that'll be 2 shots for Hagopian.
And it's early. You don't want to be doing that. There's still 4 minutes of playtime. You don't want to be doing those kind of fouls that are unnecessary. Because now we're in double bonus or double penalty.
Especially halfway at the half-court line. First one's missed.
It's definitely turned into a game, though.
Second one is up and good. Timeout Mohawk, but this 4th quarter has been a complete game changer so far.
No, I wish the whole game was like this. It's exciting and fun to watch. I think this whole fouls, both teams being in penalty, that's huge. If it was just Mohawk, it could really change the game. But the fact that both of them are in bonus right now, it could end up just kind of evening out. More fouls go for each team, and Humber could just pull ahead even more.
You gotta really like the down low presence of the Brown sisters in Douse in these situations for sure.
Yeah, exactly. They're big players. I think definitely get it into the post. If they can draw a foul, awesome. If they can, Jacayla, she's very good at backing into her opponent and getting as close to the net as she can, and she has a nice finish. So if she can bring that in these last couple minutes of the game, it could be huge.
I think a lot of what I've seen from the Hawks defensively is they really jump at the pump fakes.
Oh, yeah, I know. They do a lot. So they're a very active team. They want to get as many steals as they can. And sometimes it's intimidating having someone all over you. So, yeah, I think if Mohawk can use that as well, fake your pass and bounce pass it, get around them. We saw a couple of nice spin moves. Brittany Gazzola, that was earlier in the game, though. She just did a little crossover. And, Humber they were gone. She had the whole laneway. It's definitely going to be an inside key finish to this game, though. I don't think we're going to see many more 3-pointers.
No, unless it's necessary at the very end of the game.
I think they should just avoid them.
Yeah, I think it's smart. Abella gives it off Pockernick. A little bit of a carry, but they're going to call the hold. Pockernick go to the line for 2 shots again. Great aggressive play.
And we're saying Pockernick a lot now in this last quarter, so she wasn't really around for the first 3 of the game. But if she can pull through a Mohawk for Mohawk in these last couple minutes, then.
No Fuente on the court for Robertson. Arbor in for Brown. First one's good for Pockernick. Second one short, taken down by Douse. Douse bounce pass out. Good, smart play, not going up. Pockernick gets it, falls down.
It was good hustle play by Mohawk. They just weren't able to get to the rim and draw that next foul.
Lafuente, Kronk. Almost taken away by Abella, but Hagopian holds on. Great pass into Uruza. Step back, Jimmy for Hagopian. That's money. That is beautiful basketball.
And we had a 3-pointer.
Yeah, another 3-pointer,
Yeah.
but I think that step back was so nice.
Yeah, no, it was definitely nice to watch.
Lead is now up to 9 for Humber, 48-39. Strange bounce, but inside Dows. Oh. She'll go to the line for 2 shots. Another foul on Nafuente. I think that might be 3 or 4 for her. First one's in for Douse.
More than ever, this is when these foul shots are needed, right?
Second one is good.
In Humber, they're always quick to go in.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of step-ins, just anxious.
That's a great play there by the Hawks to get it to their best player. Sorry, she's in with 4 fouls. Hagopian, she's feeling hot. Too strong. Big rebound by Kronk to tap it back out. Lafuente, Hagopian again, short.
Oh, great pass up.
Yeah, wide open, Pockernick. That's finished. 5-point lead.
It's definitely turned into an exciting game.
Lafuente, Hagopian, let's see if she jacks up another one. I don't think she will. Sorry. Going in, hard shot. She gets fouled.
And she was looking for that
Oh,
foul.
yeah.
If she didn't get that foul called, that would have been it for her.
yeah.
She would have take me out.
Yeah. So Batnick will get the foul call. Brown takes out Arbor. To the line for 2 shots. Surprised the crowd's not louder while Asari is at the line with 2:23 remaining.
Yeah, no, we haven't had a very active crowd tonight.
First one's missed. Second one's missed as well. Ball's tipped around, and that's a big offensive rebound for Arua, excuse me. Big picks it there by Kronk. Big mismatch inside.
The help was there.
Kronk jacks one up, and that is strong defense off the offensive rebound.
So, Mohawk didn't get that rebound off the foul shot, which they would have, but at least there was a shot clock violation, and it worked in Mohawk's favor.
Still only a 2-possession game. Humber was not thinking it was going to be like this at the end of the first quarter.
No, I don't think so. And 48 points for Humber right now is very low for them.
Douse hands it off. Abella, jab step. Batnick almost gets the friendly roll, but it's rebounded by Kronk. Sorry, hands it off. Tough foul there.
Yeah, you know, I think that was one Jax. She had to take that.
Yeah, you have to, for sure.
Yeah, you
Especially
can't,
with this time.
Yeah, you can't let her have that easy of a bucket. And she came flying down the court, CJ. So it's easy, you know, to hand that off to her and let her go.
La Fuente to the line. That's a clutch free throw. Second one's missed. Another offensive rebound by Kronk, and that's killing them.
That's huge for Humber's game. Like now, she can just take her time.
3, 2, 1. Kronk throws one up, missed. Abella gets mauled, and that's her ankle. I don't like the Humber bench clapping about that.
No, I don't either. That's it's kind of unsportsmanlike.
Very.
Hate to say it, but that's kind of the air that we get from them anytime we play them. Which I don't think our Mohawk girls are like that, but maybe I'm a little biased. Hoping Jen is going to be okay. And
We say that every game so far.
I know.
It's not good to say about one of the best players on this team.
No, and it's, you know, like, it's her call and the coach's call, but it's a hard call to make, you know. She wants to play. She wants to pull this out for the girls, but she could end up just injuring herself more, you know. So do you take the rest that you need, or do you push through it? And if you're an Abella, you push through it.
Yeah, we've noticed that. But again, it's only a 7-point game. So Mohawks is still in it with over a minute remaining.
Yeah, no, it can still happen. You know, a three-pointer right now would be really nice for
who's
Mohawk,
gonna
but
shoot it? That's
who's
the
going to
thing.
shoot? Yeah, who's going to shoot it? So if Sam Nick can get to the net again and draw some more fouls and, you know, a quick turnover here and there, and I think Mohawk can take this game.
Definitely.
And Duffy's a huge play person, so I'm sure, you know, he can write something up quick, and it'll be something that Humber hasn't seen before.
So yeah, a minute and a half remaining. 6-point lead, 49-43. But it's Mohawk's ball.
It's not the inbound that you want.
23 on the shot clock. Randazzo taking over the point guard duties. She hasn't seen much burn. Parknick has it. Batnick chucks one up.
I think that was it was an early forced shot. I think they should have moved it around a little bit more. Especially in these last minutes of the game, you got to take the best shot that you can.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute. Kronk, all the way left side. Hagopian for three. Boom.
And it's good.
Deep two, they're going to call it. Substitutions on the floor. Here she is.
She's back. 30 seconds.
Yeah, again, another 30 seconds of rest
Yeah.
for Abella. Brown, right side. Pass gets
Just
rejected by
tried to,
House.
you know, throw it over top. That's where that fake would be nice for a little bounce pass inside. Get it to Karina Brown a little bit better.
Humber can waste some time off the clock, but they don't seem to want to be doing that. Kronk, nasty backdoor pass to Asare, and she flops.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama along there.
Abella, Brown, Abella back. She's going to have to jack one up. And she's down again, and this is the worst situation. Brown to Brown. No, Brown gets a rebound. She's fighting with it, and that's aggressive play with No Fuente. No Fuente's, I think everybody's just got to relax. 9.9 seconds left. We're pretty sure it's Humber's win.
You know, it's
Everybody
just
on Mohawk.
it's that emotional side of the game, right? You lay it all out on the floor, and to come so close for Mohawk and just not close enough.
Humber's going to take a timeout. Up by 8 with 9.9 seconds.
And I think
it's just a calm
break.
down. Yeah, I think, exactly. I think it's just a
definitely
calm down timeout. Just everybody. I'm not sure. I know we're Mohawk students, but Humber's thinking right now, we've won the game. Everybody relax. We don't need technical fouls to get put on our permanent record like in school.
Yeah.
But
just keep it, finish with some, nice sportsmanship.
Yeah.
You don't have to throw them down. You don't have to over foul. Just play the last of these minutes or seconds now. And I think Mohawk, same thing. Just calm down. Everyone, they get so high on their emotions, and game kind of gets away from you there.
So it's going to be a tough start to the season so far. They went up to the Sioux, Mohawk has, and they swept them.
Yep.
They lost to St. Clair a couple weeks ago, and now they're going to lose to Humber. So
but this
2-2.
It was a lot better of a game to watch, though. So there has been improvement. I think that this first half of the season is going to be some development for Mohawk. Just getting to know each other, because we have a lot of rookies, and just getting some of our injured players back. When we have Steph Rymack back in the game, I think that's going to be huge. It might take her a little bit to get her shot back, but she's been here now. I think this is her 3rd year, so that'll be great when she's back.
Even Sam Donald down low with their size.
Yeah, exactly.
And Shannon O'Neill and Natalie Fisher. A lot of injuries piling up.
Yeah.
But he's just going to dribble out, and kind of an interesting foul there on Batanik. Asari will go to the line for 2 shots just to pad to her stat total. Missed him. So the final, 52-43, just a little bit of confusion. They accidentally put the point on Mohawk's score instead of Humber's there, but that happens. So, again, there's positives, but some negatives going on with Mohawk.
Yeah, I think it's just getting to work as a team. We saw a lot better passes, a lot better gameplay, but we just need to be finishing. So now, like Duffy said at halftime, the execution is huge. So they're getting the shots around, but we're just not making those easy bunnies.
You can't be a 4th quarter team like they were today. You have to play like that throughout every quarter.
Exactly. It would have been a lot more fun games for us to watch as well. So, and I think a lot of it even came down to foul shots. If they would have gotten that advantage early on, drive into Humber and get some more calls and, make it to the line, those extra bunnies and extra foul shots can really make a difference in a game.
As we saw some good sportsmanship there at the handshake circle, let's take a look at some game highlights. There wasn't a lot of that happening with Abella, but that was a nice one. La Fuente over to Semple.
Lots of assists tonight. She had a great game.
That was where the passing was the best.
Yes, that was definitely, we had a lot of back and forth there, and it was in Mohawk's favor. It was a great run.
And there's the Pockernick and one.
That came alive in the 4th quarter.
And there's that step back by Hagopian. Outstanding. All right, Christine, what do you got for us?
Hi guys, I'm here with number 24 for the Humber Hawks, CJ Nofuente. You just had an awesome win. Congratulations. Now, you had the most playtime out of anybody out there, and it was an incredibly physical, exhausting game, and you didn't back down. What was driving you?
Just keeping our number 1 spot, pushing through the game, getting everyone involved. We did it. We came out here to win. Despite any of the calls the refs were making, we push through everything, listen to our coaches, just execute every time.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been doing a great job of doing that the entire season. You are number one. How are you keeping yourself motivated when you're already on top?
Honestly, if we lose, we're beating ourselves. Practice every day just means we get better every day. Every team wants to come out and give us their best, so we just prepare for everyone's best.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Good luck with the rest of the season. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Christine. So for Sadie Martin and Christine Midgley, I'm Liam Dunlop. Stick tuned for the men's game, which will happen around 8 p.m.